What's up, boys? Take a look at some more NBA player props over on prizepicks. We had a hell of a night last night. It was freaking awesome. One of, if not my best day on prizepicks just as a whole. We were able to catch on to a couple mistakes over on the Patreon last night, and they paid out huge. So it was freaking awesome. If you guys are on prizepicks, I recommend joining. This video will apply, by the way, to sports books and also other player prop websites out there. But I recommend joining prizepicks because, like I'm telling you guys right now, there's insane value on the prizepicks board. We were able to catch it last night over on the Patreon. Use my code DOMG. Must be 18 years or older. Available in most states and most of Canada. We're just going to hop straight in. It's going to be a really short intro today. If you are interested in seeing every single one of my plays, check out the Patreon. The link is down in the description below. There are 3 different tiers. There's NFL, NBA, and all sports. With access to the Patreon, you guys get every single play that I play on top of these plays being ranked by confidence level and write-ups to go with every single prop that I post. Once again, the link is down in the description below, so check it out. So now on the Patreon, we have 364 members. We are on an 8-2 NBA run. We've been on a hell of a run for sure. 5-2-1 last night, by the way, with the top 6 either hitting or pushing. So I have my plays ranked, like I said. So the top 6 ended up hitting or pushing, which was amazing. And the bottom 2 that were losses was the bottom play and also a half unit play. And by the way, the top 4 in my rankings have been 3-1 or better for 6 straight nights. So we've definitely been killing it for NBA. And we've also had 2 sweeps in the last 6 days. Final thing before we move on to player prop, I'm 7-0-1, also my NFL Sunday top play. So if any of that interests you, link is down in the description below. Seriously, you guys have been killing it. We're almost up to 400 members. Also, thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. I believe I'm at 4,999 right before I'm recording this video. So you guys are crazy. Genuinely do appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let's hop into this player prop here. I try to make this intro nice and short for you guys because I know a lot of you guys hate the really long intros. But let's hop in. So by the way, on prizepicks right now, we have a Taco Tuesday discount right here. We have about 2 to 3 usually every Tuesday on prizepicks. If you guys are new to prizepicks, this is called a taco discount. So pretty much on Taco Tuesdays, they drop a couple players by points, they drop them by a rebound, they might drop a player's passing yards by a couple of yards or whatever. And it's a community vote as well in their Discord, so the community gets to vote. The community voted on Stephen Curry to get bumped down from 27.5 points down to 23.5 points. So there's a little bit of value on prizepicks. It's the best value you'll probably find out there compared to any other player prop website out there is Curry at 23.5 points. So I do like the Curry just because it's value. I don't think it's like a crazy prop or anything like that because he's definitely been able to go under. It's not like it's going to be a freebie or anything like that. He did already drop 33 on Miami. But, you know, I think you can definitely go over this for sure against Miami. We'll talk about a little bit more about that in a little bit here. But let's hop over to rebounds here. And I'm going to go with Andrew Wiggins over 5.5 as my main play. So Andrew Wiggins has hit this in 8 out of his last 10 games. And he actually already faced Miami this season and had 10 against them already this year. So on October 27th, he had 10 rebounds. You guys can see his last 5 game log right here. 3 out of 5 in his last 5. But he is 8 out of 10 in his last 10 games if you guys want to date back to last season. So I'm like this spot a lot here for Andrew Wiggins to go over his rebounds against Miami. Let's talk about the matchup and things like that here. So let's talk about all that right now. So let's hop over this game real quick and just take a look at the game script and how this game is supposed to go. So this game is at 7:30 tonight. He's going to be on the road. He's going to be in Miami here. So it's a 1-point spread for Miami. Miami is actually favored in this game, and the over-under is 226.5, which is a pretty solid over-under, especially for a Heat game. They're expecting a pretty decently fast-paced game, I think, here. So there should hopefully be some rebounds going up in this game here. So this game's going to be at 7:30 again, right there. First game of the slate. We only have 4 games today, by the way. So I'll talk more about that in a second here again, but let's take a look here because he's supposed to start at small forward here. So let's see how Miami ranks up against small forward rebounds so far this season. They actually rank 9th. They are allowing 8.68 rebounds per game to the small forward position so far this season. So they're ranking 9th right here in rebounds per game to the small forward position. So it's a pretty solid matchup for sure. And that's also probably bumped up a little bit because Andrew Wiggins already had 10 against Miami this season. So I'm hoping he can do at least 6 this time around against Miami. And again, it's a pretty solid matchup. They're allowing 8.68. I believe that said. Yeah, 8.68 per game to the small forward. So I'm liking the spot right there for Andrew Wiggins. But let's dive into this a little bit more and take a look at what he's done recently. So you guys can see his minutes right here. It was a blowout game, I do believe, right, against Detroit. Or why did he get less minutes? I believe, yeah, it was a blowout, actually. The Pistons beat him by 14 points right there. So he only had 25 minutes in that game. Typically, he'll have probably about 41 or 30, you know. Hopefully he's getting about 41 or 37 minutes in this one. At least 30 minutes. You better get at least 30 minutes, especially with a 1-point spread here. So should be getting some good amount of minutes. Should be able to get hopefully 6 rebounds in this one. 6, 10, 6 in his last couple games. We already saw that before. And earlier this season, he had 6 against the Lakers, and he had 8 against the Denver Nuggets right there. So I think he can get 6 in this one. By the way, talking about the odds right here, it's good odds for prize picks, but when it comes to sports books, it's a little bit tougher, which is why I'm going to cover some other props a little bit later in the video, because it's like a minus 138, minus 130. So great value for the prize picks board for sure. Great value for prize picks when it comes to Andrew Wiggins rebounds. Not as much on sports books because the odds are a little bit juiced on this one, of course. So if you guys are on sportsbook, maybe this one is not for you if you don't want to take the juice. That's completely up to you. By the way, tailor your guys' own risk for sure. Tailor your own risk. Look into these more on your own, all that different stuff. But this is how he's been in past matchups versus the Heat, by the way. So between this season and last season, he is 2 for 3, I believe. So I believe both of these games were last season. He had 3 rebounds in the other matchup in 37 minutes, and he had 6 rebounds in 34 minutes the other game against them last season. So, you know, he's got a pretty decent hit rate against them. He's got really good odds for the prize picks board at 5.5 rebounds. I like the spot a lot here. 8 out of 10 in his last 10 games. He already went over against Miami earlier this season. So that's kind of my reasoning for Andrew Wiggins over 5.5 rebounds for that prop right there. Let's talk about some leans and other things like that real quick here. So we take a look at like the 3-point props here. You got Anthony Edwards at 3 3-points made right there. Curry at 4. Not really going to apply to any sports books or anything like that out there. You have rebounds right here. Rudy Gobert interests me a little bit against Phoenix. I don't know what Phoenix is going to look like here. Is Ayton back? He is still out in this one. I think he might be done for a little bit, man. So Rudy Gobert against this guy right here, their backup center. You know, Rudy Gobert should be able to eat in this one. I'm not sure what the matchup completely looks like, though. Let's take a look here. Center rebounds versus the Suns. They're 15.54 per game here. So I think Gobert should be able to eat tonight. Did he go over 13.5? That's up to you guys. His only misses, I believe, maybe the entire season are against the Spurs of all teams. 7, 9, and 12 against them this year. So otherwise, he had 21 against the Lakers. I took his over against the Lakers, and that one cashed pretty easily. So that was a pretty solid one right there. What am I liking here? Mikal Bridges over 5 rebounds is kind of a lean for me. I like him a little bit over 5 rebounds. Again, though, it doesn't really apply to sports books out there. Nothing really interests me too much here. But you get the points props. Points props are always going to be pretty solid when it comes to sports books, of course. Not as much when it comes to prize picks. I try to stay away from points when it comes to prize picks because there's just so much value. When it comes to rebounds and assists and like these low numbers like it, 5.5, you got 5, 6, all that different stuff. When it comes to point props, it gets a little bit tougher when it comes to finding value on prize picks. So that's always a thing. But Zach LaVine's back for the Chicago Bulls, so be careful with that. Taking DeRozan props and Vucevic, all that different stuff, that'll definitely impact those guys a little bit because they played a couple games so far this season, I believe, without Zach LaVine. You got Chris Paul, 13 points. I don't think anyone really wants to take Chris Paul's points. Maybe assists, but not really his points. Booker's been killing it so far, man. Booker has definitely been killing it. I think the matchup's a little bit tough, though, for Devin Booker. We take a look at shooting guards versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they're definitely on the tougher side right there, 21.29. So I saw that hit rate, and I was like, I'm going to dive in a little bit to Devin Booker, but it's a little bit of a tougher matchup right there for Devin Booker, so I'm kind of staying away from that one. But that's pretty much this slate right here. It's a short 4-game slate. I will usually be giving you guys some pairs when it comes to these NBA slates on the bigger slates. When it comes to short ones like this, I want to save most of the props for the guys over on the Patreon. Again, the link is down in my description below. We have definitely been killing it lately. I had one of, if not my best day ever yesterday over on the Patreon because of just how much value we got on the prize picks board. It was insane. Again, the prize picks link is down in the description below. You guys can use my code DOMG to get a 100% deposit match up to $100. And prize picks link, Patreon link, down in the description below. And also the subscribe button. So subscribe, tailor your own risk, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, boys.